Hello everyone! Today, I will bring two material for English project assignments. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mohammad Bashari. I'm from Bina Sarana Informatika University. My name is 19241536 and my class 19207. Check it out.
Definition of a computer is an electronic device that receives data input, processes data, and provides output in the form of information, be it image, text, sounds, or video. In general, a computer is defined as a set of electronic devices that connect one component to another to produce information that has been previously processed. A computer consists of three elements, namely hardware such as a processor, hard disk, RAM, CPU, motherboard, software such as application, and also operating system that will work according to the commands given by brainware user. The history of a computer. The history of a computer is closely related to arithmetic calculations. So, in ancient times, the function of a computer was as a tool to help humans in make calculations. A mathematician named Charles Babbage from England was the first person in the world who dared to send a letter to experts in the British Kingdom to develop a mechanical calculation tool, namely a computer. Since then, Charles has continued to try to develop a computer machine that can be programmed by humans, but has not been completed. The idea was developed by various parties until it became the sophisticated computer that we know today. Function of a computer. In principle, computers have four basic functions including: first, data processing. Computers are used to process data so that they can produce output in the form of information. The data process is general data in the form of document, text, sounds, words, objects, videos, images, and graphics. Second, data storage. Computer function to secure and real-time data. Computer can perform data storage and retrieval function. For example, when using Microsoft Word, we can save the data to the hard disk and can also retrieve the data often. Component of a computer. Computer consists of a series of components that are grouped into three types of units, namely the input unit, input, the processing unit, process, and the output unit, output. First, input components. Input components are hardware components that function as the entry point for tasks that will be given to the computer. Second, process components. Process components are components whose function is to process commands given by the user to be displayed on the output component. 3. Output components are components that function as tools to display information from commands that have been previously processed. Development of computers. First generation computers. This developed from 1940 to 1959. The first generation computer was called ANIAC, which was developed by the United States Army. ANIAC was designed and developed by two professors from the University of Pennsylvania, United States, namely Professor John Eckert and John Mauchly. Furthermore, the machine was launched on February 15, 1946. Second generation computers, developed in the area 1959 to 1965, were at the time transistors appeared as a replacement for vacuum tube components in the first generation computers. Transistors act as conscious and breakers of electric current Programming languages in this era are increasingly developing. Machine language from punched cards switched to symbol language. Definition of hardware. The definition of hardware is all types of components on a computer device that have a physical form, can be seen, touched, and felt. The main function of hardware is to provide support as the main function of the computer, such as input processing, output, secondary, storage, and communication. Types of hardware. There are four types of hardware used in a computer system. First, input hardware. Input hardware is a type of hardware component used to enter raw data and is categorized as an input device. Input hardware helps manage data such as text, image, and audiovisual recording. Second, processing hardware. Processing hardware is a core component of a computer device. This type of hardware converts raw data into readable information so that it can make the computer device work as you wish. How it works of hardware. The way hardware works is based on three basic commands or instruction sets. So, hardware can carry out various instructions that have been given. Here are their basic commands for running hardware, including basic input instruction that can provide information to software, in this case the operating system, using a driver intermediary. Basic process instruction. These instructions function as intermediaries between input and output process. First, receiving input. As a receiver of input given by the device user of user. For example, when you turn on the CPU by pressing the on button to turn to the computer. 2. Providing output. To provide a series of functions or outputs needed by the device or served after receiving input. The output will later be given to both the user and a series of software that are integrated with each other. Third, a place to store information and data. Has your computer device ever experienced an error when a hardware component is damaged? This is because hardware also functions as a place to store information and data such as SD cards and RAM. Fourth, processing information and data. In addition to function as a place to store data and information, hardware also functions as a place to process the data and information so that it can be read on your computer screen.